Good morning, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. And today's message is Curse Breaker. If you feel cursed, like you're stuck and you're frustrated and you can't move ahead, if you feel like there are outside forces working against you today, you're going to be set free. We're going to be studying from Asha. This is the 2,600-year-old Magi text, and the Magi were called the wise men for good reason. Listen to this. Stay with me to the end of this, my friends. This is going to change everything. In Asha 8, it says, on a subconscious level, I live in truth, and the lie of discord disappears. The spell of separation is broken. My friends, when we live in truth, the spell is broken, that you're separated from your good, from divine life and health and peace and joy and goodness, my friends. You are not separated from those things, and I'll tell you why. Because you can't be separated from your God. God and you are one. If you feel separated, it's the lie and illusion. It's being stuck in the matrix, and you can break free today. Asha 11 says, removing the corruption puts potentialities to their proper use. You must burn out the impurities to find true essence. Purity is a must. Now get this, if your vessel is mixed with poison, pour it out. My friends, if your vessel is filled with poison, what is considered poison? My friends, it could be as simple as a bad attitude that is keeping you from your dreams and goals, making you feel cursed. And some of these things, get this is important, and this is what's going to set you free here when you realize you can do something about it. Some of these things that we think are an attack of Satan, or the enemy, some kind of outside force, sometimes, my friends, it's something as simple as it's just been passed in your very DNA as different traits, such as maybe anger issues passed down from grandpa or dad, maybe greed, maybe addictions. And it's things that we can change. We know now we can rewire our neural pathways. We can change our very DNA, my friends. And the great thing about that is when you break that curse, you don't send it on to the next generations, my friend. You are a curse breaker, and you're going to give a better life to your children because we have this understanding now. And do you know what's funny? Many of you know, and please stay with me for the new ones. I'll give you this quick message here. But the Order of the Magi, the wonderful friends that have been with me, stay to the end of this because I got a really just encouraging message for you guys. But many of you know I went to Bible college. And a lot of those stories, they stick with you. And some of them, I mean, they're good analogies. And one I'll never forget was a story of Samson. And I'll tell you why that hit me so hard was because a lot of the attack on Samson wasn't from the outside. It was from within, from his own people. And I can relate with that. I'll just give you a quick brief rundown of that story, but the Philistines, Samson had just been giving them hell, and so the Philistines surrounded the camp of the Israelites and told them, give us Samson or we're going to destroy you. And my friends, the Israelites, they tied up Samson, and they were going to offer him to the Philistines for them to leave him alone. So he's not being attacked by any outside forces. His own people tied him up and thought they had him bound, my friends. And haven't we experienced that? Sometimes the attacks don't come from the outside. I wanted to be a preacher my whole life since I was a child. And like I said, I went to Bible college, was doing all the things. My uncle has one of the largest churches in California. Some of my good friends, I mean, they have huge ministries, and they were inviting me to come work with them. But I have very strong ideas about truth and Asha, and good is good and bad is bad, and we need to call it out. And they even agreed with me on a lot of these things, and they said, well, I understand, I know what you're saying, but that goes against tradition. That's something we're not going to be able to teach, or we're going to be thrown out of the Southern Baptist convention, or you can't work in that. People aren't going to come to your church. You're not going to build your business that way. And my friends, I'm not about building a business. I'm about building truth. And so, my friends, I felt like I was being wrapped up like Samson. They tied cords around him. I felt like, well, they're not going to give me those jobs that they told me they would. They're not going to give me any help. Even friends and family that won't share my messages here because they're afraid of the repercussions from their friends and for their businesses. And my friends, yeah, I was feeling like Samson tied up, but I love the part of the story, and I don't like violence and stuff like. But this is just an analogy for something going on inside of us, you know. But he broke those bounds off; they couldn't keep him bound. And then he grabbed the jawbone of an ass and went out and wiped out 1,000 Philistines, you know. And I don't like murder and killing and anything like that, but just as an analogy of that we can't be bound, my friends, and we remove the enemies around us. And we do that by first cleansing our vessel on a subconscious level by holding the highest truth. And my friends, when you hold a truth, not just know about it, not just hope and beg, but you know a truth that I am divine health because I am one with God and can't be separated. And God can't get sick and I can't get sick. And viruses die when they come into my atmosphere. My friends, magic happens. That's why Jesus was a miracle worker. That's why the Magi were considered the original magicians. The very word magic comes from magi, my friends, because we're working in these high realms. We're holding truth, and in truth the lie cannot live. We're living in light, and the darkness can't come in. We're living in health, and sickness and disease cannot enter. My friends, it's so beautiful. So we need to dump out our vessels, even from things that are passed down, like I said, in your very DNA. If you see yourself struggling with anger issues or greed or whatever it is, my friends, dump it out. And you're thinking, well, it's not that easy, Makis. It truly is. We can rewire our very DNA and neural pathways. How do we do it? Well, we want to get it to a subconscious level, my friends. So we start with our conscious mind, the 10%, and we start programming ourselves. We stop repeating what we've heard outside of us. We go inside to that divine spark that says, I am one with God. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I'm not my past failures and mistakes. I'm not the failures and mistakes of my parents and grandparents. And we start speaking that highest truth, and we start to program our subconscious. And that's where the power is. That's the power of the mind. That is the human superpower to change not only our lives, but the world. And my friends, that's why I wanted to tell you, we are changing the world. We've stuck to our guns. We didn't bow down to the pressure, and we are changing the world. My friends, Asha is one of the best-selling spiritual books out there right now. It's every day they're flying off the shelf. People are hungry for this truth, this message. Our videos have never grown like this before. The feedback I'm getting on all different platforms, my friends, we're growing by the tens of thousands. It's finally happening. It's because of you guys. You didn't back down. You didn't quit. And I know what you guys went through as you're sharing this, and they're telling you, no, you're wrong. But you kept inside, you're sticking to your guns and saying, no, this is right. And for yourself, you broke off those bounds that were holding you, my friends, and you started removing the enemies around you. The hate, the fear, the greed, the depression, the anxiety, the perversions, my friends. You broke free and you removed all that lie and illusion with your light and your truth and with Asha. And my friends, amazing things are happening. Asha by Winston Head, available at Amazon. If you don't have it yet, you got to get this book, my friends. Put it to memory because it is the highest truth. Asha means the highest truth. It is the Spirit of God that we live in and that lives in us. So beautiful, my friends. Guys, I love you so much. So proud of everything you're doing. I see what you're doing, and I don't even have words to express how amazing you guys are. I love you so much. We'll see you next time.